I held on tightly to Kenny's hand as we walked through the darkness and the woods. Not because I believed in ghosts. Believing in ghosts was for idiots. For people like Kenny's mother, who spent her days in front of the TV watching pathetic shows about so-called mediums, searching through old houses looking for spirits that didn't exist. Still, the fact remained that almost everybody I knew had heard the sound of a baby's cry near the cairn, a sort of prolonged, mournful whimpering. They called it the ghost child, and even if I didn't believe in spirits and other stupid things like that, why risk it? So, I've never been out here alone after dark. I looked up at the sharp tops of the spruces. The trees were so high they almost hid the sky, and the bright, round, milky moon. Kenny pulled me forward by the hand. I could hear beer bottles in the plastic bag clinking, and smell his cigarette, and the moist soil, and the rotting leaves. Just a few meters behind us, Anders lumbered along through the underbrush, whistling a song I recognized from the radio. "Come on, Marlin!" Kenny jerked me by the hand. "What?" "You're slower than my mum! Are you drunk already?" The comparison was unfair. Kenny's mother weighed at least 400 pounds, and I'd never seen her walk anywhere, besides from the couch to the bathroom, and even that left her out of breath. "Shut up," I said, hoping Kenny could tell I was joking, hoping he'd know I meant it with love and respect. We'd been together for only 2 weeks, in addition to the unavoidable and awkward make-out session in his bed, which stank of dogs. We'd devoted our time to establishing our roles. Him, dominant, funny, sometimes at my expense, and at times overcome by a precocious, self-centered melancholy. Me, admiring, pliable, usually at my own expense, and generously supportive when he was depressed. The love I felt for Kenny was so intense, unreflective, and, of course, physical, that it sometimes left me completely exhausted. Still, I didn't want to leave his side for a second, as if I were afraid he'd turn out to be a dream, a sweet figment of my imagination that my yearning teenage heart had somehow cobbled together. The pine trees around us seemed ancient, soft pillows of moss spread out around their roots, and a grey beard of lichens grew from the thick branches closest to the ground. Somewhere in the distance, a twig snapped. "What was that?" I asked, perhaps a little bit too shrilly. "That's the ghost child," Anders said in a dramatic voice somewhere behind me. "It's here to take you away." He howled the last. "Damn it, don't scare her," Kenny hissed, overcome by a sudden and unexpected urge to protect me. I giggled, stumbled over a root, and came close to losing my balance, but Kenny's warm hand was there in the darkness. The bottles in the bag made a muffled clinking sound as he shifted his weight from one foot to the other to support me. The gesture made me warm inside. At that point, the trees thinned out, as if stepping to the side, made room for a little clearing where the stones of the cairn stood. The stones resembled an enormous, stranded whale under the moonlight, overgrown by thick mosses and small ferns that swayed gently in the breeze. Beyond the clearing, the rest of Orm Mountain's dark silhouette rose toward the night sky. "Ugh," I said. "Why could we not just go to somebody's house and drink beer there instead? Do we really have to sit in the woods? It's freezing out here." "I'll keep you warm," Kenny said with a grin. He drew me so close I could smell the beer and snuff on his breath. Part of me wanted to turn my face away, but I stood still and met his eyes because that's what was expected of me. Anders just whistled, sat down on one of the large, round stones and reached for a beer, then lit a cigarette and said, "I thought you wanted to hear the ghost child." "There's no such thing as ghosts," I said, and sat down on a smaller rock. "Only idiots believe in ghosts." "Half of Ormberg believes in the ghost child," Anders countered, then cracked a beer and took a swig. "Exactly," I replied.